In this video, I'll be going over a brief history of Ms. Marvel, as well as reviewing the 2 Hasbro figures released based on this character. If you're only interested in the character bio or action figure review, then feel free to check the time markers below, but I do hope you'll watch until the end. In 2013, Marvel introduced a new Ms. Marvel to the world. This version of Ms. Marvel would star a Muslim Pakistani-American teenager named Kamala Khan. This character's creation is credited to Sana Amanat, Stephen Wacker, G. Willow Wilson, Adrian Alfona, and Jamie McKelvey. Alfona in particular also has a credit for co-creating The Runaways, another Marvel comic title that had a short run as a TV show. Kamala is first introduced in Captain Marvel number 14. Carol Danvers, who is the original Ms. Marvel, had just started using the name of Captain Marvel. Kamala would be seen as a bystander without lines or a name, but we would see her again later in Captain Marvel number 17, this time without her face, but wearing a shirt with what would become her iconic lightning bolt symbol. Once Kamala became active as a hero, she took on the name Ms. Marvel in reverence to her idol, the original Ms. Marvel, Carol Danvers. The new Ms. Marvel would go on to star in her own self-titled series starting in 2014 until 2019, at which point she would star in a new series titled The Magnificent Ms. Marvel. This would be an ongoing series that would end in April of 2021. Ms. Marvel has continued to appear and guest star in other character series, including a short incident where she swaps bodies with Peter Parker Spider-Man. Kamala is a human, but has inhuman genetics that became active after exposure to Terrigen mists. Once exposed, Kamala would gain powers that would allow her to dramatically alter her body. This includes elongation, size alteration, a healing factor, and even the ability to shapeshift into an object or person. 2 notable characters with similar abilities are Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four and Plastic Man from the DC Universe. However, what's especially unique about Kamala's abilities are that when she elongates in any way, she is actually borrowing mass from other versions of herself throughout time. This is yet to materialize as a central plot point in the comics, but it's possible it could become one in the upcoming Disney Plus TV show. Kamala wears a costume made of special materials that stretch with her as she utilizes her powers. She additionally wears a set of bangles that act as storage for things like her cell phone and other items as needed. Ms. Marvel has been a member of the Avengers, however, Kamala's primary association is with the Champions. The Champions are an Avengers-like team, but whose membership is made primarily of younger heroes like Miles Morales' Spider-Man, a time-displaced young Cyclops, and Amadeus Cho, Hulk, also known as Brawn. A similarly styled team was created in 2005, aptly named the Young Avengers. The Ms. Marvel Disney Plus TV show is set to release on June 8, 2022, and stars relative newcomer Iman Vellani in the titular role. She is also set to reprise her role in the Captain Marvel sequel titled simply as The Marvels in 2023. Here's Hasbro's Marvel Legends Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan. This is the first version of this Ms. Marvel that Hasbro has released. They have previously released the Carol Danvers version of Ms. Marvel, which I think may be back in 2014 now. But this one is based on her original design. This is the character herself is a teenager. And with Hasbro, they do actually have different body types for their characters, even distinguishing between teenagers or younger heroes and adult-sized, females and male characters. This one definitely falls under the teenager scaled body. The posing itself, the articulation is pretty standard for the teenager type. A lot of female characters only have the single joint versus the double joint of a male character. A lot of female characters also don't have bicep swivel, and this one is, I guess, typical of that. Unlike a male character as well, there is no ab crunch. We can show the differences on Namor right here. So Namor has ab crunch, which allows him to crunch his abs. You see the bicep swivel, and then the double joint on the elbow, which allows just a little bit more articulation. So none of that on here, unfortunately. The other, I guess, problem with Ms. Marvel is that the skirt, while accurate, does actually get in the way of posability. So she can't go splits out without, you know, that would rip. Can't go all the way back or forward. So limited posability because of that. The scarf is unique to this character. I don't recall them releasing any characters with a scarf like this before, and the bangles or bracelet is unique as well. I don't think there's been another character since Ms. Marvel that has this brace. And as far as head sculpt goes, I think this is also at least somewhat unique in terms of hair and having a mask. A lot of the female characters before at least have a painted on mask, but this one, you can kind of see the shadows on it, is actually molded on. The paint apps in general are pretty good, I would say. Let's see here. As far as accessories or alternate parts, she really only comes with the elongated left punching hand and right, I guess, gripping hand. And what's really interesting about this particular figure is that it's the only female Marvel Legends figure so far that actually has swappable arms, at least at the forearm specifically. Although, unfortunately, even with the swapped out arm, the level of posability remains the same with just the single joint. Even worse, the fist itself no longer even rotates at this point. So you're really, really limited. At least on the regular side, it does turn like normal and can even go like that if you really wanted to. But none of that with the embiggened parts, as her character likes to say. But nonetheless, at least it's nice to have that, because sometimes we get female characters that have no additional accessories or hands or anything like that. Overall, though, I think a very strong representation of the character that we see on the pages. Which then brings us to the other release. This one is based on the video game version of Ms. Marvel. And the one major difference, besides the colors, you can see that the colors are much more muted in the video game version, are the boots. So the boots aren't just kind of flat comic book like things. These are much more realistic boots that a person would wear. They lace all the way up, it looks like. They have texture to them, so that's kind of nice. But otherwise, they are the same exact mold. They made no changes between the original release and this one. Otherwise, besides the boots, articulation is the same. The same issues with the posing due to the skirt thing, skirt shirt. I'm not sure what to call that. And then just the paint apps. And I guess one other slight difference is that it's not surrounded by gold on the edges, and the scarf actually has a slightly different design on it. I never did play the game, so I'm not sure if this one has any particular meaning to it, or if that's just how it looks in the game. Yeah. You can also kind of see that the video game version has just black hair instead of the comic version's brown hair. There is a newer version of her costume that came out in one of the comics of hers, but I think she has since reversed back to this version. I think if her character gains popularity, I think it might be kind of cool to see that other costume. There's a third version of Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan released by Hasbro. However, this version is released especially for members of the Marvel Unlimited digital comic book subscription service. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any comments, then please feel free to comment below. I'm open to suggestions on these videos, or if you'd like to see anything more specifically about the figures, or what you'd like to see in the next video, then I'd love to hear it.